GFD was founded 65 years ago because a group of funeral professionals understood something essential. How we say goodbye shapes how we remember. They believed every person deserves to be remembered in the way that they hoped for, and that families deserved clarity and steadiness at a time when both can feel impossible to find. Pre-planning, to them, was an act of protection, a way to safeguard choice, preserve dignity, and ease the burden on the people left behind. That belief became GFD's purpose in 1961. It remains our purpose today. This anniversary is, above all, a recognition of the people who have carried this work forward, day after day, year after year, and in many families across generations. People who have given more of themselves to this profession than most will ever know. Across our country, death care professionals give of themselves in a way that cannot be measured on a schedule or contained in a job description. Many of you have devoted your entire careers to this calling. Some learned their work from their parents or grandparents and will hand it to the next generation. Others found their way here because you felt compelled to meet families where they are the most vulnerable and to guide them through what comes next. The rhythms of this profession are unlike any other. Your days are shaped by calls you cannot predict and conversations no one else is prepared to have. You enter homes where grief is still emerging. You walk into preparation rooms where the weight of responsibility settles in before a word is spoken. You sit with families who can barely articulate what they need, yet you find a way to guide them. You stand at gravesides in every season, tucking those in your care into their final resting place with the same tenderness you would offer your own. And you carry the residue of these moments long after you leave the building, because you're human too. This work requires dependability that does not switch off. You are asked to get it right the first time, every time, because everyone's final chapter matters. Those demands are difficult to describe, but my friend Bill captured them perfectly at Denning's 100th anniversary. He said, "This work is not easy. It asks much of us, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. But it's important. It is sacred, and it is deeply human." Everyone in that room understood exactly what he meant. This profession always has. One of the defining qualities of this service is that a grieving family's experience never rests with one person alone. It moves through many hands, and each role distinct, each essential. The transfer teams who bring someone into care, the directors who guide families in advance or at time of need through decisions they never imagined making, the preparatory teams who handle the most intimate forms of care, the crematorium operators and cemetery staff who carry the final responsibilities. Each shapes the next. Each influences how a family will remember the hardest moment of their lives. This is the continuum of care, the way our work gets done. An unbroken effort built on trust, respect, and shared responsibility. And with this continuum, families feel supported in ways they may never be able to articulate. Our profession has changed over the years. There have been differences in approach and at times real divisions. But moments like this remind us of what does not change. The work only holds when we do it together. Families depend on many people, not one. I've also seen how this profession supports one another in moments of tragedy, difficulty, or suffering. I've experienced that support myself, and it made something unmistakably clear. The work we do for families, we also do for each other. We may stand in different roles and in different buildings, but we are connected by the same purpose. Thank you for the support you offer to one another and for the support you offered to me. GFD was created in that same spirit, to protect the plans families make, to honor the wishes they leave behind, and to shoulder part of the practical work so that you can focus on what only you can do. Meet families with compassion and professionalism in circumstances where most turn away. Our purpose has always been to stand beside the profession, not above it, without expecting recognition, because meaningful work doesn't need an audience. Families are grieving in a world that feels faster, louder, and more uncertain than it once was. But the need for a meaningful goodbye, and for someone who can guide them through it, has not changed. Over the next 65 years, the profession will need to move forward together. Not in lockstep, funeral service has never been that, but with a shared understanding of what we are trying to protect. The continuum of care is only as strong as the hands it moves through. Preserving that legacy means keeping the focus on service, to families, and to one another, making it easier for families to understand their choices, letting go of practices that no longer help them, and listening to what the next generation needs from us before we assume that we already know. Families trust you to help them remember, honor, and make sense of loss. But they need us to meet them in the world they're grieving in now. And we can only do that if we protect the connectedness of the work, the service we offer for families, and the service we offer to one another. So on our 65th anniversary, I want to say this plainly. Thank you. Thank you for the years, and in many cases, the lifetimes that you have dedicated to this work. Thank you for all the sacrifices. Thank you for helping people be remembered as they hoped and as they deserve to be. Thank you for the compassion you bring to each day. Thank you for carrying your part of the continuum with integrity and humanity for families and for one another. It is a privilege to stand beside you in this work, in gratitude for the past 65 years, and in commitment to the decades ahead.